Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the live stream, this time Sunday night. I'll explain that in a minute, but thanks for joining the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about cryptocurrency news. I will take your questions as always, and I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys so you can see how it works. Keep in mind, this is not an investor forum, so please, please, please don't ask me about coins. I'm just going to ignore you, so if you just keep asking about XYZ coin, it'll just like go into oblivion. Anyway, here we are. Let's get going. If I can do this. Okay, we made it. Here I am, Sunday night, 7 p.m. We went to get our new dog, and it was a little bit of a trip. I don't know, about 2.5, 3 hour drive. So we decided to spend the night before and pick up the dog this morning so we wouldn't have to have like a 6-hour drive. So anyway, that's why we canceled last night. And then I kind of thought I was going to be really tired and that I might be pushing 6 o'clock. So I scheduled it for 7. But we got home like 12:30, 1 o'clock, I guess. So I was sitting here doing stuff. I probably could have started at 6. But I had already scheduled it and named it and everything for 7. So I waited. But anyway, thanks for all your patience. Those of you who moved from Saturday to Sunday. Welcome all of you who joined, maybe not knowing when the heck I do these things. Normally Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. All right, so let's go over to on-screen demo. I'm going to pop out chat. There's a lot of people here tonight. There's a lot of questions. We are going to talk about the news. But I will briefly say, because he was here early, Greg Ghost is having trouble with ADA. There are 2 formats for ADA addresses, and perhaps the cryptocurrency exchange doesn't support the one you're trying to use. I don't even know if they have an address converter. That would be weird if they do. I don't know. But anyway, there's an old style ADA address that used with the Byron wallets. And then there's a newer ADA address format that starts with ADDS1 and then a bunch of other characters after it. And I've noticed that some cryptocurrencies don't support the older or the newer format. So that might be what's going on. You're probably using the latest version of, I'm not sure what wallet you said you were using, but if you were using Daedalus and you generated an address and then tried to paste it in to a cryptocurrency exchange, it might reject that address. It might tell you it's not valid or something of that nature. My suggestion is Binance US. I'm not sure where you live, but Binance US, I believe, supports the newer address format. So like if I do receive CDs addresses, ADDR1, these are the new Shelley-based addresses. And the older ones look different. Sort of similar in the middle, but they didn't start with ADDR1. They started with a bunch of letters and numbers. So that may be your issue. I really don't know. I'll have to think about it. But the easy solution is, I believe Binance US supports the newer format. I'm pretty sure I was able to withdraw ADA to this wallet using this address format from Binance US. So I'm just throw it out there, Grey Ghost. I don't know if you can get Binance US or not. I mean, if you're in New York, I don't think they're available in New York, or maybe in Europe or wherever you are. Anyway, I want to jump into the news. I got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Some of it exciting, some of it boring. But I've got a bunch of tabs open. I hope I can keep my bearings here. I'm going to try to get through the news. So here's, I mean, we're sitting at, I don't know where we're at right now. Let me just take a look at where Bitcoin is at right now. Okay, it's 39.11 on Crypto.com. Crypto.com usually is a good front-running site where you can check the latest price of Bitcoin. They're based in Hong Kong. They seem to have the latest price of Bitcoin sort of ahead of the rest of the US. So like if we go to CoinGecko, or let's see, okay, well, any CoinGecko will work, right? If we go to CoinGecko and we look at the price of Bitcoin, it's 38.7, right? But Crypto.com says 39.111. Right now it says 39.97. So, but it crossed 40 yesterday. All right, and it's pulled back a little bit. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. So I wanted to, before I get too much further, I would like to point out to everyone that you can look down in the description below here for all kinds of goodies. I've got some affiliate links down there. I would appreciate if you're considering any of these items that you use my affiliate link. It helps support me. It helps support the channel. I really appreciate it. I have a new one, CrypTERIUM. I did a video on CrypTERIUM. I've been talking to them for quite a while, back and forth, and the only problem I have with them is that their card is not available in the US. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but we've talked in the past, and then they contacted me again, and they were like, dude, can you do a video? And our card is not available in the US yet, but there are a lot of features. So I did a video on CryptErium.com. I'll buy some more crypto on CryptErium.com tonight. I'll show you how to transfer out. We've got Ledger affiliate link here. We've got, of course, my favorite Crypto.com affiliate link. Trezor. Join up Coinbase if you want to learn how to buy crypto. Kraken is a great cryptocurrency exchange. Very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Above board or whatever. It's a US-based exchange. Great cryptocurrency exchange. BINANCE US, which I mentioned earlier, which is a sort of a sister sibling of Binance, but based in the US. It doesn't have all of the coins that you can buy on regular Binance, but it does have a pretty good selection, and it's available in the US. It's not available in every state, but check it out. See, it's great. Place to buy crypto, and you can buy ADA there too as well in the US. All right, and then the Brave browser, and I've got my email here. I've been getting a lot of emails, guys. I'm not used to this. I've been getting email questions ever since I started this channel, but I'm really getting like swamped with email questions. It's my own fault because I'm giving you guys my email address. I will try my very best to answer your email questions. So keep throwing them out there. I know it's not really fair. Sometimes I'll get a question and I'll look at it and I'm like, this is going to take a few minutes for me to answer, and then I skip it, and then I never get back to it. And then other people, they throw a question in that's like very cut and dried, and I'm like, I know the answer to this. And I answer their questions. I feel bad for the people that asked the questions before that I didn't get a chance to answer. But I will try to stay caught up as best possible, answering all of your email questions and all your questions tonight. All right. And links to all the news stories. All right, so let's see if we can jump in here. The first news story, let's see, is about... oh my gosh, if I can find it. We got that. Okay, I think we're over here. I'll never find all this stuff. Am I gonna not be able to find it? Let me look over here. This is where I keep my links. All right. So, yeah, let's hit this story first. No, that's the wrong one. Eek, irk, ock. Have I ever done this before? I guess not. Oh, come on, Rex. Come on. All right, here we go. DeFi corrects, Bitcoin rejects. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. DeFi corrects when Bitcoin again rejects 40,000. All right, so we're talking about 40,000, right? Bitcoin broke 40,000 yesterday, Saturday, and, you know, hurrah, hurrah. That's all great. But then it apparently was rejected, right? Which means that it crossed 40 and then it like fell back, right? Instead of just like taking off to the moon. All right. So you can read the news story here about it and the analysis and all that other good stuff. But I wanted to kind of take you guys on a trip down memory lane. And I didn't link to all of these stories. So just bear with me, guys. I got to find them. Okay, here's our story from 7 months ago. 3 reasons why Bitcoin continues to reject 10,000. Oh, man. Man, if Bitcoin could just stop rejecting 10,000, all would be right in the world, right? Okay. That's not the one I want to talk about. Here we go. Bitcoin brutally rejected from 10,000. Brutally rejected at 10,000. February 24th, 2020. Oh, man. What do we got here? 3 reasons Bitcoin tumbled below 30,000 in a surprise overnight correction. Oh, my goodness. When was this from? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Okay, here we go. Bitcoin recovers ground after falling below 30,000. Ooh. Okay, so Bitcoin got rejected at 30,000. I think actually this one was written after it broke 40 and then fell back to 30, right? Here's a good one. Bitcoin could see a 25% to 30% sell-off in the new year. December 17th, 2020. Bitcoin just broke 23,000, but it could suffer a 25 to 35 pullback from there. Although I will give this guy kudos because he's saying he tempers that with, well, I'm still long-term bullish, right? But I don't believe that Bitcoin saw a 25 to 30% pullback from 23,000 after December. Right? All right, here we go. 3 reasons why Bitcoin price violently rejected near 20,000. Oh, 2 months ago. All right, let's take another look. That's not it. All right, I think I got them all, right? Oh, here's a good one. Bitcoin may never go above 40,000 again. Ever. JP Morgan alerts. When was this? God. It was a couple... 125. Bitcoin may never go above 40,000 again. Ever. JP Morgan. Okay. You kind of get where I'm going with this, guys, right? Are you gonna, these articles were written by smart guys, right? But are we going to worry every time Bitcoin crosses some psychological level and then gets rejected? Huh? Is that, we're going to spend our lives worrying about that? Because it appears to be getting rejected at almost every psychological level and then just blasting past it. Right? I'm not trying to tell you to mortgage your house and go buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying that it can go... It's above all of this market technical analysis stuff, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. You can take this all with a grain of salt. I'm going to close these because I have so many tabs open. I've got to, clear out these tabs. All right, so where are we going to go? Okay. All right. Okay, so that's Bitcoin charting, right? We're all worried about the price of Bitcoin, right? And I've been hearing so much over the years. I remember in 2018, 2019, every negative article written about Bitcoin would mention, among the negative things about Bitcoin, was that it hit 20,000 back in 2017 and is well below that now. They used to just hammer with that one. Besides the old, it's only used by criminals, it's money laundering and all that stuff. They would always say, and it was 20,000, but now it's not, Well, they don't have that one anymore, right? You don't hear that one as much, right? Because now it's 40,000, well above 30, right? It safely seems to have established itself well over 30. And now it's flirting with 40 again, right? I love it when smart people are wrong. Don't you? Don't you just love that? Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking over here with some of our stuff. Okay. We can get rid of this one. Okay. We'll talk about that one in a minute. Okay. Let me just check my news stories here real quick. Yeah, I wanted to talk about these. This is, for me, this is like a big story. And you'll see a lot of these. If I can find one. It was actually on, if I can find this stupid thing. Okay, there it is. A Swiss company says it found weakness that imperils encryption. Now, the reason I'm using it on Mint is because Bloomberg thinks that we should be paying them for news, for information, right? It still makes me laugh, right? Oh, you gotta sign up for our website if you want to read our stories. We're so big and important, and we're not going to give you any news unless you pay us. Well, screw them. I found the story somewhere else on a different website in full, right? Anyway. All right, so here's the story, basically. Swiss company says it found weakness that imperils encryption. And that is total BS, right? Saying that there's a weakness in the study or discipline of encryption, come on. They're talking about one kind of encryption. There are always encryption algorithms that get outdated and that need to be updated and replaced, right? Just like software. Right? Are you still running Windows 98? Right? So there is a particular kind of encryption that has weakness. And a lot of people know about this, right? But the way the story is presented, security experts have long worried about quantum computing. Here we go. Quantum computing again is going to break Bitcoin, right? Let's see. Where is the... now this is more about internet in general, right? Upends the current understanding of what constitutes unbreakable encryption, right? So what they're talking about, if I can find it in the story here, is synchronous encryption. It's not doggone it. It's... Let me go down a little further here. Here we go. Symmetric encryption. All right. Symmetric encryption is different from the way Bitcoin works. Bitcoin isn't even encrypted at all. It's transparent. But it does use cryptography to validate transactions and wallets, right? And it also uses cryptography to validate the blockchain. Right? But it does not use symmetric encryption ciphers, right? So this article and this Swedish research team is about one particular kind of encryption, definitely not public-private signature cryptography, which is what Bitcoin uses, which is what we call asynchronous, right? The problem with symmetric encryption is that's what we're all used to. Symmetric encryption is like the Caesar cipher, where you like shift the alphabet down so that A becomes B and B becomes C, and then you write out your coded message, and then you send it to the other person, and they need to know that what you've done, right? They know, okay, you shifted the alphabet over 1, right? Or 7, right? And then wrapped it around the other side. But in order for symmetric encryption to work, you have to get the key to the other party, right? It's the same key. The key on your end is identical to the key on the other end. So you need to give the other person at the other end the key, right? And then you might change your method to increase security. Well, you're still going to have to get the new key to the other party. And there lies the weakness of synchronous encryption, in that if you're going to get them the key, you might as well just be giving them the message rather than giving them the new key, right? You might as well just send them the real, find a way to get them the message secretly, because you're having to send them the key secretly, right? So asynchronous encryption or public-private key encryption is different. Right? There's a private key and a public key. And I won't go into too much about that, but you can send someone your public key, and you can send them an encrypted message signed by your private key, and they can decrypt it using your public key. So that I can make my public key public, right? I don't need to send out my secret key to everybody, right? Because it's the way that it works, right? So we're not talking about breaking Bitcoin here. But the Bloomberg article made it sound like, oh my God, encryption is dead, right? Come on, seriously? If you read the article, you'll see that that's not exactly true. They've admitted it themselves in the article, but the headline screams that encryption has been broken by a Swiss company. Ooh. A weakness that imperils encryption. Now, yes, there are some weaknesses in I believe it's AES encryption, whatever it is. This encryption standard, or AES. This has been known for many years. This is known that it's weak. There's other ones that are like MD5 that are just like you shouldn't use them at all. But AES is weak, and it needs to be upgraded, and it will. Right? So don't believe all these screaming headlines, right? And then I'd also like to point out this other article here. This article tries to make it sound like blockchain security has been broken. It has not, right? Hacker steals 2.8 million cryptocurrency from cryptocurrency vault despite unhackable blockchain security. Well, this headline is usually the headline. I don't know. You'll read news stories where the headline has nothing to do with the story, or the story totally gives you a counterpoint to the headline. But the headline is the clickbait, right? They're talking about a hack that occurred in a smart contract in the Yearn finance ecosystem using I don't remember Aave. And it's serious, right? But it's not breaking blockchain technology in any way or form. When you have these DeFi applications, they run code, right? They run smart contracts which are written in Java or other languages which have bugs, right? And that code can have bugs that will allow hackers to steal, right? But that is not blockchain technology that's being broken. That is bugs in code that are being exploited, right? So the article is very, I don't want to say deceptive, but it's just not what it says it is, right? Cryptography is not an easy subject to wrap your head around. Whether you're, a normal guy like me, or a journalist, or a politician, right? These guys, these politicians and these journalists are smart people, but they did not go to college and study cryptography, right? They don't really quite understand it. And so you'll read a lot of articles, some of them written by very smart people that understand the underlying technology. A lot of articles are written by people that don't really grasp the underlying technology. So don't freak out when you see articles like this. All right, so that's that. And then I would like to also talk about another big story that occurred this week. Nigerian central bank says its ban on crypto accounts is nothing new. This is sort of the follow-up story. The big story occurred earlier, like 2 or 3 days ago, and it was all over the internet about Nigeria was outlawing Bitcoin, right? Now, I mentioned this to my dad, and I said, you know what? When countries attempt to outlaw Bitcoin, they will fail, and it will be a good thing, right? It will prove the resilience of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ecosystem and decentralized finance, right? So it's sort of like, and Andreas Antonopoulos talks about this. He does a lot of podcasts and interviews, and the reason that big countries are afraid to go after Bitcoin in some respects is that they could go full tilt against Bitcoin and make some impact, but then fail. And then their weakness has been revealed, right? Let's say the U.S. goes full tilt against Bitcoin, making it illegal or whatever. Price will drop, yeah, but Bitcoin will survive. And after Bitcoin survives, then the U.S. looks like an idiot because they tried to break Bitcoin and were unsuccessful. I don't know, it's kind of like that bully in class, that everybody's afraid of. And then, as long as he doesn't get into a fight, he's okay, right? But then the one day when he picks a fight with the wrong person and gets pummeled, he's not the bully anymore, right? Everybody knows he's not as strong as he says he is, right? So I think it's a good thing that the smaller companies attempt to outlaw Bitcoin, because they will fail, right? And then it's interesting. And then there was a lot of uproar and cries, and then they even clarified it later. They were like, "Oh, is this it? Oh yeah, it was nothing new, and it wasn't actually. That it has not been legal tender since 2017, right? They were just sort of reiterating it. And why were they reiterating it? Because everybody in Nigeria is buying Bitcoin. That's why, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is Nigeria, right? Nigeria is telling us that Bitcoin is a scam and you'll probably lose your money, right? And they're, citing all the regular stuff about Bitcoin. If I can find it here. I can't find it. Due to the fact that cryptocurrencies are largely speculative, there we go again, anonymous, Bitcoin is not anonymous, it is pseudonymous. You don't have a name attached to your Bitcoin wallet, but it can be traced. The public blockchain is transparent. So here we go again, smart guy running a government, he doesn't know anything about cryptography or Bitcoin or blockchain, how it works, right? When they say that Bitcoin is anonymous, they are wrong. It is not. Now, there are some coins that are, but most of them are transparent. Untraceable. Not true. Bitcoin transactions can be traced, right? Ethereum can be traced. They all can be traced. They are increasingly being used for money laundering. Increasingly. Oh, okay, I get it. So it's on the rise. Money laundering, terrorism financing, and other criminal activities, right? All right, we've been hearing this, for years. right? So they're just reiterating these false claims, hoping that if they say them again out loud, we're all going to believe them. But we won't, because it's not true. None of it is true. And now I'm going to bag on Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria, the country with the worthless currency. Nigeria. Okay. Let's see here. What was coins? I want to see this where it says coins. Coins. Due to inflation, Nigerian coins are essentially worthless now. Come on. You know, not to mention their bank notes. Right? So a country with a worthless currency is bagging on Bitcoin. All right, let's go here. Nigeria's runaway inflation means low treasury bills yields will not last. This article is from the 6th of February. Nigeria's runaway inflation. Okay, do you want to use a currency that is losing its value by 15.75%? Or would you rather use Bitcoin that has gained in value over the last 10 years? Right? It keeps getting worth more. Now, a lot of people bag on Bitcoin over that. They're like, oh, well, nobody wants to spend Bitcoin because it keeps getting higher value, so it's not real money. I'm like, yeah, oh, so you like the real money that loses value over time. To you, that's real money, right? When it loses value over time. You know, and Nigeria, I hate to call them out like this, but every fiat currency has inflation, right? Even the US dollar, especially the US dollar, right? It's a rate, you know, the inflation rate. It's never zero. It's always a rate. So how soon, how fast does the dollar lose its value? It's always a rate. It's always losing its value. Right? It's never going up. Your dollar never gets worth more, right? Food prices never go down. They don't seem to, right? Anyway. All right. So that's it. I'm going to see who's here. Is anybody still here? Or are you guys like screaming at me to answer questions? Gray Ghost just gave me a tip. Thank you, Gray Ghost. I appreciate it. Scott Lee is here. Wonderful. Thank you. It's good to have Scott here. Mr. David is here. Check the weather in Michigan. It's cold. Yes. Man, you should have seen us on that drive yesterday. It was crazy. Woo! Man. We were driving and we were like on kind of a country road, and you come into like an area where there's empty cornfields on both sides, and the wind is blowing, and it's blowing snow sideways, and it's like you cannot see the road. I mean, well, first of all, the lines in the road are already covered with snow, right? So you can't see the yellow line. You can't see the white dashes. You can't see the side lines of the road. The only thing that helps you is those rivets when your tire goes over, when you go, so then you know you're like about to get off the road. And then there's those poles that they put on the side of the road with the little reflectors on them. I was like hunched over the steering wheel doing like 30 miles an hour looking at those poles to make sure I stayed on the road, man. It's crazy. Anyway. All right, so I wanted to point out that there was a wonderful guy who sent me an email, and I'm going to open it up over here. I'm not going to reveal his full name. He might be here in the live stream. I'm not sure. Dahl, I'll just throw out your first name, Dahl. Dahland sent me a very thoughtful question about his hardware wallet. And I kind of wanted to throw this out there before I go buy some Bitcoin, right? We're going to buy some Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you how to move cryptocurrencies around, right? That's the key to understanding crypto, is the ability to move it back and forth. I have a few questions. I have a keep key. Is it a safe wallet? So the answer to that is it's a safe wallet. It's a hardware wallet. It's just as safe as a ledger or a Trezor, right? Private keys are stored on the device. And I don't know that it has a pin. I think it does. I was trying to connect mine earlier before we started, and it needed to be upgraded and blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, it's not my go-to hardware wallet, but yeah, it's a safe wallet. And then he says, okay, so I have some crypto in there. Okay, how do I know? How do I know that the 12-word recovery phrase will be able to recover my crypto? It's pretty common. I had the same thought too when I first set up my ledger. And it was, how do I know that the 12 or 24-word recovery phrase will in fact recover my crypto? How do I test that? Well, you could just reset the device and restore using your 24-word recovery phrase. But what if, for whatever reason, it didn't write it down correctly, and you lose all your crypto, right? So you got crypto, you're pretty stressed out, right? So, well, how can you test a 24-word recovery phrase, or 12, right? And you can test them on a different device. All right, that's the short answer. Just buy another one and do a restore and see if it restores properly and you've got access to all of your crypto. All right. You can also take a 12-word recovery phrase and restore it to other types of wallets too. Which brings me to another point too, and which I'd like to quickly talk about. Someone asked me in an email, which I probably haven't answered yet, and he watched my video where you make a mirror backup of a secondary device. Let's go. I'm just going to open up one other tab here. Ah, damn it. Okay. Let's go here. It's got a lot of views. How to update. That's not it. Damn it. That's not the one. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. How to create a mirror backup of your ledger, right? So basically in this video, I'm explaining that you don't have to wait for your device to fail. You can simply buy another ledger and restore to that ledger and have a backup device ready to go if your go-to device gets lost or damaged, right? But I get a lot of questions about how this works. And like one of them is, okay, I've got a ledger X and then I've got a backup ledger S, and they're both using the same private key, right? I restored one of them with the same backup phrase. If I put crypto in the X, will it automatically be on the S? And the answer to that is yes, but it's not quite that simple. They're both using the same private key so that they are interchangeable in Ledger Live. So that if I'm using Ledger Live here and I've got some Bitcoin and in this account, right? And I attach my Ledger Nano X, I can send and receive crypto, right? And I can receive some crypto, and let's say there's 0.1 Bitcoin in there. Then he wants to know, well, is it going to be on that backup device? The answer is yes. All you have to do is take the backup device and connect it, and you can connect to this account and verify that it is Ledger will think it's the same device, right? If you do a receive, it'll show the address on your S. I know I'm getting kind of out of the blue here, but they both have the same private key, and they will both work in Ledger Live on the same account. So a lot of people think, oh, if I lose my Ledger Nano X and it's gone bye-bye, do I have to like wipe out Ledger Live and then reinstall it when I pull out my backup device? And the answer is no. Ledger Live does not need to be touched. All of your accounts are still there. They'll work just fine. You pull out your backup device, connect it, and you can send and receive crypto just as if you had your go-to device, the one that got lost or damaged, right? You don't need to do anything to Ledger Live. You just hit the ground running. Because as far as Ledger Live is concerned, it's the same device because it has the same private key. It was restored with the same backup phrase that got created when you initialized your primary device. I know that might be going over some of your heads, but anyway. And then his other question was, do you have a video that shows me how to move cryptos on my keep key to a Ledger Nano X or a Trezor T? I don't specifically have a video about that, but I show you how to move crypto every live stream from one place to another. And that technique can be used between any addresses and wallets. Like, I don't know, people seem to have trouble wrapping their head around this. But if you can take crypto from an exchange and withdraw it to your own device, then yes, you can move that crypto on your wallet to a different wallet just as easily. It all has to do with the address of the cryptocurrency. And then I could take the crypto on that wallet and move it to a different wallet. Or I can move it back to an exchange. And then after it's back on the exchange, I can move it back to my hardware wallet. Or I can move it from my hardware wallet to Electrum Bitcoin wallet, a desktop-based wallet. Or I can move it to a phone-based wallet, Trust wallet. It's all the same process. Just think of it as mailing a letter, right? If you say, you owe me $30 and you can mail me a check, what's the first question the guy's going to ask you? Oh, what's your address? Right? I need to mail you a check. What's your address? So I give him my address, my post office address, right? It's the same with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. All you need is an address, and you can move it to that address, right? And that can be an address on a wallet, a hardware wallet, a Ledger Nano X, a Trezor T, a Keep Key. They all work the same. They all use Bitcoin addresses and or Ethereum or whatever crypto they support. And then the next question, he said, I will be charged a fee to move cryptos from one wallet to another. Yes, that's how the blockchain works. You pay fees on the blockchain. Ethereum fees are really high right now. Bitcoin fees are pretty regular, but it is a decentralized network that is run by volunteers, and they process Bitcoin transactions and mine for new Bitcoins. And yes, they get a small fee for doing that, for maintaining the network. So when I move Bitcoin from point A to point B from my own wallet, even within my own wallets that I own, yes, you have to pay a fee. Usually it's not too much on Bitcoin. If my wallet goes bad or gets lost, what would I do? Get a new device and use a recovery phrase. We have already talked about this. Where should I keep my wallet? Somewhere safe. I usually keep mine on my desk, right? It has a pin. If someone comes in and tries to steal it, they would need the pin, right? So if a sneak thief swipes my ledger, it's pretty much useless to him. Keep it somewhere safe, like in a waterproof safe, sure, that's fine. But that means that every time you want to mess with your crypto, you got to run over to your safe and open it up and pull it out. And then when you're done, go put it back. And it's just, you're adding a level of complexity to your crypto transactions. I live crypto. I do it every day. I check my balances. I move it around. So I'm not going to run to a safe and open it up every time I want to use it. I leave it on my desk, right? But if you want to hide it in a plant, or whatever, you don't want anybody to get a hold of it, that's great. It's entirely up to you. All right, and then the last question he asked was, what is the maximum money you would recommend to keep on each hardware wallet? He's asking me, should I keep all my crypto in one hardware wallet or should I spread it out across several? And that's kind of a question for the ages, right? all your eggs in one basket, or you want to keep them separated. The only problem with keeping everything, like spreading your crypto across multiple devices, is that you've added another layer of complexity to dealing with all of your crypto, right? Which device has that crypto? Where is this and that? I've dealt with so many people that have multiple ledger devices and like just have so much heartache because they connect the wrong device to the wrong account, and then it says something went wrong and they think they did something wrong. And then I'll ask them, do you have more than one ledger? And they'll say, oh yeah, I do, but that's not this one. I go, why don't you go get that other ledger and connect it and see? And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, see, because if you have multiple ledgers and crypto spread across multiple devices, it's already hard enough to wrap your mind around having one, and you got 7, one in the kitchen, one in the bedroom, one in the safe, one stashed in your file cabinet. It's like, I have more than one device, and I have more than one wallet, and I get confused sometimes, but you don't want to take it to the extreme on that, right? And what's the maximum? I mean, I don't know. If you got $1 million worth of crypto, should you keep 500,000 on your? I don't know what the right answer to that is, right? If I got $1,000 worth of crypto, should I only keep 500 on one hardware? I don't know, right? I can't really answer that question. What's the maximum amount I should have on each device, right? But all very well worded, well thought out questions. I thought I'd bring them up. Where is it? Oh my God. All right, let's see where we're at here. I'm going to try to jump in and follow you guys. Don't forget to hit the like. Great Ghost, thank you. God Weiling, thank you, God. God willing. Mr. David, by the way, hold on to your dent. Yes. Great. I've been reading on Reddit, people in India getting told by the government they will be jailed if they don't sell their cryptocurrency. Terrible. Yes. So I think since the beginning, China and India have been trying to squash the cryptocurrency industry, and they haven't been very successful at it, right? And the more they try to crack down and the more they fail, the more people will realize that these guys, I can't do anything about it, right? Although I'm sure that some people will suffer, right, during all this. All right, Dogecoin is going good. I don't care much for Dogecoin. I don't know really what its use case is. It's a cryptocurrency similar to Bitcoin. I don't think that it has any additional features that make it acceptable beyond Bitcoin, except that maybe it's cheaper. Maybe some places will take it as payment. I don't know. It was invented as a joke, so I don't hold a lot of regard for it. People are buying it right now. If you feel like you want to go spend your money on it, great. But I don't believe it has a very strong use case. Every cryptocurrency that's worth its salt has a use case, right? And if the use case is strong, then it's a good, long-term thing maybe you should hang on to. But if it has a weak use case, then it's just, as all of these financial geniuses and politicians tell us, it's just speculative, right? If it doesn't have a strong use case. It's like anything, right? Any company, stock, bond, option, whatever, it's only speculative if you're dealing with, like GameStop. I can understand they were going against the shorts when they were buying GameStop, but we're talking about pretty much of a dead company. And that's why the big boys were shorting it. And that's purely speculative, in my view. But they had a purpose. They were trying to take down the hedge funds, so I get all that. But I would not just buy something because of speculation, like a tulip bulb. They accuse Bitcoin and all the others of being speculative asset bubbles. I don't believe that's true. But there are certain patterns of buying behavior that are, they're chasing bubbles, right? And it happens in a lot of cryptocurrencies. So try to step back from that Just try to keep yourself separated from all of that. I don't see any huge questions. If I miss your question, shoot me an email. I put my email down in the description. I swear I'm going to try to get to your questions. People start piling in towards the end and asking a lot of questions. But I did, before I buy some crypto, I would like to talk about two little things here. There's things that I call quality regrets. Now, what is a quality regret? This is really not an investment forum, but I would like to talk a little bit about mindset with crypto in the overall, right? If you want to buy some crypto and you want to get rich, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem that most people have is that they get emotionally attached to a particular project and they don't want to sell, even when it's going way up. And then it pulls back and they're mad, right?
Oh, I forgot.
That's a horrible feeling, right? But I'm going to tell you a couple of other not horrible feelings, but what I call a quality regret. And one of those is I sold too soon, right? You sell too soon and you take your profits and then you watch the coin keep going higher. And then you're like, oh man, I should have sold. I should have waited, right? That's a quality regret because you got your profit, right? What are you whining about? You got your profit. Find another coin, right? Or jump back into the coin if you feel like it. But that's probably not a good thing, right? Jumping in and out of the coin, right? So you got 500 DOT or whatever you got. And then you sell it. And you made a huge profit and you stuck the money in the bank or you went out and bought your new boat or whatever. And then DOT keeps going up. And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have sold so early, right? That's a quality regret. Don't let that get you down because you got your profit out of it. I just want to point that out, right? People are afraid of that. People are afraid to sell their coin because they think it's going to keep going higher, man. Dude, you're not, what is that getting you? Okay, yeah, maybe you might get rich. Down the road, it might go to 100K, 100 times 100 or whatever. It may be, but it might not either. It might pull back abruptly, and then where are you? Think of 2017. ADA was $1, right? You bought a bunch of ADA at $1, thinking it was going to go to the moon, right? $10, $100, right? And then ADA went down to 60, but you kept holding, right? Because you thought you were going to get rich. And then ADA went down to 50, and then ADA went down to 30, then it went down to 11. ADA went down to 5 cents from 2017 into 2018, right? Now, if you've held 3 years, now it's back up to like 70 cents, right? But you're still down, right? But if you maybe had sold some of it while you still had a profit, you wouldn't be in that bad situation, right? So don't be afraid to sell crypto if you need to take the profit, and don't be regretful afterwards when you see the coin continue to go up, right? You made your profit. All right, and then another, I didn't buy enough. Ooh, hate that one, right? Put $500 into a coin like Elrond, and you like watched it triple or quadruple or whatever, and you were like, I should have bought more, right? That's a quality regret, right? You've made a bunch of profit on your $500. It's worth like $2,000 now. But you're bitter because you could have bought more, right? Don't be like that, right? You don't need to be like that. All right, so let's buy some crypto. I'm going to buy some crypto on CryptEthereum for you guys. This is pretty easy. Let me do this thing again. And then maybe buy a little bit on Coinbase. okay, so here we go. We're at 38,934, right? So we're just kind of flirting around with 39,000, right? Well, it broke 40 yesterday and now it's pulled back. So boo-hoo, right? It's still high, right? It didn't pull back to like 30 or anything. It's just down a couple hundred from its high from yesterday. So don't. And Cardano is 66. I don't know where Cardano got, but I think Cardano is like just going crazy, right? But anyway, and Elrond too, right? Elrond's going crazy too. I should have bought more. Okay, I'm gonna go over to CryptEthereum and show you guys how to buy some crypto. And the reason I usually do crypto.com. I might do some later. But the reason I do these CryptEthereum and Crypto.coms is because a lot of people want to know, how do I buy crypto, right? It's confusing. Yes, it is. But so how do I buy it? Okay, you simply download an app onto your phone, connect your debit card to the account, and then you can buy it, right? It's simple, very easy, right? So let's see, where can I find it here? The interface on this is slightly, right here. It says quick buy with bank card. Right, I'm going to hit buy. Right, I've got my Visa card attached. And how much do I want to buy? Okay, it's got euros, but that's okay. So if I were to say 50 euros, that's like 57 US dollars, right? I can afford that. So I'll hit buy BTC. And I'm going to confirm that. All right. Oh, they gave me a 1% fee. I'm going to move this over so you don't see my PIN. Oh, they need the code of the card, which I believe I know by memory because I don't have my wallet down here. I think it should work. Now, the first time I tried CryptEthereum, my bank rejected it. Right? They sent me a text that they thought it was fraud, and I replied yes. And apparently now now I can buy crypto without the bank rejecting. Crypto.com will do that sometimes when I buy larger than usual amounts. I don't mean Crypto.com, I mean my bank, right? When I'm using Crypto.com, my bank will reject it sometimes if I buy a larger than usual amount. But most of the time, once you have told them once, and I got a text, it said, "Did you do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And they were like, "Okay, just try again." Right? I don't know what that's all about. So now we've got Bitcoin in here. We got $161 worth of Bitcoin. Right? I just wanted to point out that this video that I did. Oops, sorry. Here, yeah. This video I did on how to set up CryptEthereum walks you through the entire process. I'm not trying to pump CryptEthereum or anything. I do, as you guys know, I've been doing this 3 years. It's just educational, right? People want to know, how do you buy it? So I've done videos on how to buy it on Coinbase, how to buy it on Binance, how to buy it on Binance US, how to buy it using Crypto.com. And then I've done a video on CryptEthereum. Why not? Let me see. I'll put a link to this in the thing here so you guys can see. But I did not show you guys how to withdraw it, which I haven't done yet. So let's try that. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Bitcoin main. Right. And I want to send some crypto to this address. Right. I'm going to do receive. I'm going to hit continue. And I can connect the device to verify the address, but I'm reasonably safe that I can just say I don't have my device and use this address here. All right. So, but and I'm going to show the QR code. I want to see if CryptEthereum will do this or not. Let's see. All right. So let's send some Bitcoin. All right. So I do this so you guys can see that we're sending Bitcoin from one place to another and kind of demystify it. I remember somebody emailed me and they were like, I watch you on your live stream, and when you send crypto and it doesn't show up right away, you just laugh. Yeah, right? Don't get all uptight, you know. I know because I'm confident in myself that when I send crypto, it will arrive because I know I've sent it correctly to the right address. And that's the confidence that I want you guys to get by watching me, right? And then I thought about that I laugh when crypto doesn't show up right away. It reminded me of the Gladiator. Do you remember the line in Gladiator where Maximus says, "Death smiles on us all. All we can do is smile back," right? So you gotta be able to laugh at adversity if you're using crypto, right? All right, so let's do our send. Let's hit send. I want to do by wallet, so I'm going to tap by wallet. I'd like to send it all if I can. Let's see. I'm going to tap that little QR code icon, and it should open up my camera. So it fills in the address there. How much BTC am I going to send? Oh, see down there at the bottom it says all. So I can hit all. We'll send it all. I always recommend that you send a small amount first to test. Don't be like me, but I'm going to go ahead and send it all. But if you're not sure of what you're doing, send a small amount. And I talked to a user that did that and was happy because he was doing something that took like 8 hours for some bizarre reason. But he was said later, he was like, I'm so glad it was only 20 instead of like $500 worth of Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, if you're new and you're just starting out, always try a small amount first when you're doing something new, right? Sending to a new wallet. Let's hit transfer. See if this lets me do this. Okay, it looks good to me. I'm going to hit transfer. Let's see how it works here. Okay, done. Done. Right? I'm not going to rate it. Now, everyone always asks, hey, what about the fees? Yeah, I get it, right? The fees can, and why is there still 19 in there? Oh, I think I got some, what do I have in there? Wallet dashboard? Oh, show all wallets. There we go. There's still some Bitcoin in there. Didn't send it all. That's kind of weird. I don't know why. All right. I thought I said send it all. Whatever. But normally, no matter what crypto you have on an exchange, and you send some, they're going to deduct some from your balance of your crypto. So if you send like your maximum of whatever you've got, let's say it's Litecoin, and you send the max from an exchange, it'll say, okay, it's going to cost you 0.01 Litecoin, and they include that in that max figure, right? So you're not going to get all of it. You're going to get all of it minus that fee that they charge, right? It's basically they're absorbing the blockchain fees, and they're just charging you. I don't know if they make money on the fees. They might, right? I think I've heard that Binance makes quite a bit just on, they charge you a higher fee than they pay on the blockchain. I don't know, right? But you're using a service, so it's going to cost you some money. So just kind of get used to that. Fees suck, but using a Bitcoin-based wallet and sending to another Bitcoin-based wallet is a little bit cheaper than some of these exchanges, right? So the whole idea behind Bitcoin originally was, I have Bitcoin in my wallet, you have Bitcoin in your wallet, and I'm going to send it from me to you across the blockchain, and the only fees I'm going to pay are blockchain fees, right? Low blockchain fees. In a perfect world. Some of these exchanges charge high fees for withdrawals, right? They'll save you money in one place and charge you money in another. They're like, we have 0 trading fees. So you're like run and you're trading on there with 0 trading fees and you're all happy. And then when you go to withdraw it, they charge you high withdrawal fees, right? It's just business as usual, right? All right, so, but we sent most of it, right? I'm not going to get all caught up in why it didn't send it all. I don't know. I don't care too much. Okay, I'm getting, yeah, see, I'm getting, even during the live stream, I'm getting questions. I'm going to email. I'm getting a lot of questions. I'm doing my best, guys. All right. All right, so there we go. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And like I said, I've never used CryptEthereum before. So I'm going to check in here to see how I can track it, if I can. So I'm going to choose history. You can't really see it here. Those controls are in the way. Okay, down there at the bottom of the app is history. Let's hit history. Okay, it says payout to wallet. Okay, there, I bought the Bitcoin there, you can see, and then the payout to wallet is still pending. All right, it's going to be a while. But I can, not only can I see that I actually sent it, right, because it's in my history, I can also see that it's still pending, so I don't have to freak out. And I can also verify the address that I sent it to, right? I can see there 2BC1QU92H. Let's check it out. Let's do that receive again. And there's that address. Now, the reason that it hasn't changed yet, the ledger will generate a new receiving address for each transaction. The reason I can pull up that same address is that it has not received any Bitcoin yet. It hasn't received the Bitcoin from CryptEthereum yet. Once it does, the next time I open up this wallet and generate a receiving address, it will be different, right? The receiving address, there can be multiple receiving addresses in a wallet. This is not the public key. It is a, quote, public address, but it's not the public key of the wallet, right? There's a private key and a public key, which are used in public, private, private, public cryptography, right? The public key gets exposed when you send crypto out of the wallet. We talked about this before, but we won't talk about it too much. Just pointing out that these addresses that get generated are what we call receiving addresses. They're not the public key. All right, so there we go. We may have to wait all night, right? It may not even be end up in the wallet before the end of this live stream. Who knows, right? But we're not going to freak out. All right, so why don't we go buy some more crypto? Let me see. David Mutru gave me a tip. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. I desperately need to make some Bitcoin. Where is blockchain server? Oh, that's a good question. Yusuf Gaming _ asked me, where are the blockchain servers? They are everywhere and nowhere. No, they're everywhere. A blockchain server, you don't have to do anything special to have a blockchain server, right? Except you've got to have enough computing power to run the server or node. But you can run a Bitcoin node on your own computer. If there are certain wallets that you download that actually run full Bitcoin nodes, right? It downloads the entire Bitcoin blockchain to your machine, which takes up a lot of space and a lot of bandwidth, but it does. And then you're running a Bitcoin node on your computer. Usually you're not like, there's not a lot of people querying your node. It's not like a full-blown like Bitcoin blockchain server, right? There are such things, right? The Electrum Bitcoin wallet. Let me see if I can. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, so I use the, let's see here. It was like there's no, I still have a balance of 0.003 Bitcoin in here. I bought some stuff using my Bitcoin. using the Electrum Bitcoin wallet. But the Electrum Bitcoin wallet does not download an entire Bitcoin blockchain copy of the blockchain to my computer. It queries servers that I'm assuming are under their control or they know about to get the current price of Bitcoin and the current state of the blockchain, right? So it can show me my current balance and it can show me my transactions. But the Bitcoin is not in this wallet, right? The Bitcoin is on the blockchain. And when we say the blockchain, we're talking about a decentralized ledger with thousands and thousands, maybe millions, I don't know how many nodes there are out there. But they all contain exact copies of the blockchain. And then when something changes on the blockchain, when new transactions come in and new blocks are added to the blockchain, all of the nodes that exist out there in the world are constantly querying the current state of the blockchain. And whenever they detect that there's new blocks, they update. All right. If you've ever had a full node Bitcoin wallet that has been closed for a couple months, and then you open it back up again, it takes it a while to update to the current state of the blockchain. But blockchain is everywhere, all over the world. China, US, Europe, Iceland, Finland, wherever, right? Anybody running a Bitcoin node is part of that blockchain. And they use cryptography to keep themselves synced and to make sure that it is the good official state of the blockchain ledger, right? It uses a hash. It uses cryptography to make sure that it's right. So but that's a good question. He was like, "Hey, where is the blockchain anyway?" Right? It's not in one place. It's all over the place, right? But they are identical copies of the same ledger, and they automatically sync up so that they are identical. It's amazing technology. We've talked about this before. Let's go down a little more. What's happening with those servers going down for some reason? Not sure what servers you mean. They're all over the world. Some servers go down. I have struggled to get my BTC from the vault on Coinbase to over a month now, and they have drained it. Now they have drained it. I don't use the Coinbase vault, which is supposedly their offline cold storage. I do know that if you transfer crypto, any kind of crypto, into the Coinbase vault, it is somewhat inaccessible, right? Because it's in cold storage. And in order to get it back into your Coinbase account, you need to request it or transfer it or whatever you got to do. I assume that it works, that if you have Bitcoin in there and you want it back, you can get it back. I mean, if they were scamming the world and keeping all the crypto that gets moved into their vaults, I don't think they'd be in business very long. I don't mean to talk bad about you. I don't know what your situation is, but maybe I don't know. I think we talked about Coinbase a couple weeks ago. Someone said Coinbase is a scam, but my thing is, you may have been doing something that looked suspicious, and that's why they're holding the funds, or they haven't released the funds, or whatever the case may be. You throw in, you open an account, you deposit $5,000, you buy Bitcoin, and you immediately try to transfer it out. That just looks suspicious. It may be like a normal thing to do for somebody that's pretty adept at crypto, but it just looks suspicious. Coinbase deals with beginners mostly, and most of the people using Coinbase, I would venture to say, buy their Bitcoin and just leave it there. And they may sell it when it goes up, and then maybe sell it for cash and withdraw it. I think that's the normal mode. There are probably quite a few people that are crypto savvy that buy Bitcoin on Coinbase and then move it to their own wallet, like I do. But I would say the majority of the people using Coinbase are simply buying it and leaving it on there. Same with most other cryptocurrency exchanges too. So if you're trying to wheel huge sums of money in and out, that may throw up red flags for them. I don't know what happened with your vault, and I'm sorry that you can't get access to your crypto, but I don't think that they set up that huge company to scam people. There's probably an explanation as to why. But I don't know the answer because I don't use Coinbase Vault, unfortunately. If you send some US dollar coin to Kraken to fund buying some ADA, how would you handle? Let's take a look at that. I don't have my... I need my... I need my little hardware thing here. Here it is. To log into Kraken. I can show you that because that's probably a good subject here. I got a little hardware USB thing that I use for the security on my Kraken. It has to be inserted. So let's go over to Kraken. Oops, what the heck was that? Oh, that was Daedalus. What's Daedalus talking about? It crashed. Okay, Daedalus, whatever. All right, let's get rid of some of these tabs here. I've talked about all this stuff. Let's simplify things here. Oh, I forgot to talk about a news story that I had in here. I don't think I put it in the... okay. Okay, here we go. CNBC, 2 days ago, February 5th. Bitcoin's wild ride renews worries about massive carbon footprint. This story has been being recycled and recycled and recycled. Nothing against Ryan. I'm sure he's a sharp guy. But come on now. It's just like they do with us, right? You know, we say something like, I don't know, JFK, you know, Lee Harvey Oswald was not a lone assassin. He had help or whatever. And you say something like that, and then the mainstream people are like, oh, that's been debunked. They always say that. It's been debunked. That's what Biden said when they asked about his son, Hunter. Did you know Hunter had a laptop with all this incriminating evidence on it? He's like, oh, it's been debunked. Right? That's always their word, debunked. Right? That's not true. Just because you say it's not true doesn't make it not true, right? But anyway, Bitcoin's wild ride, and I'm going to use that too. That has been debunked over and over again. Bitcoin does, you know, this whole argument that Bitcoin's energy consumption is, you know, this huge worry for the world is BS, right? Even this article mentions it. Where'd it go? Even this article, if you go down a little further, it's a balanced article. But then the headline isn't, right? The headline is the clickbait. Why does Bitcoin consume so much energy? They got to explain to us how Bitcoin works. Here's the counter argument. And I like this one. Sending and storing emails uses energy. Yet we don't infer email to be bad because it consumes energy. And that's kind of it, right? Just because something uses energy doesn't make it bad, right? I need to heat my house and I use energy. Does that make me bad because I use energy, right? And then, but this article here, and I think I've shared this article with you guys many times over, saying that it's wasting energy is a fool's energy. There's a lot of discrepancies on exactly how much energy it uses. There's always a lot of quotes like, oh, it uses as much energy as New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand? Oh, well, maybe New Zealand's bad if they're using that much energy. Right? Come on. you know, or it uses as much energy as like New York in 3 days or whatever. But what was the one I saw where they said something about? I've lost it, but there's I remember. It was inactive gadgets, like your toaster, your blender, your phone charger. All of those things that are plugged into outlets are sucking energy out, which is basically useless energy. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, I think I missed it. But anyway, the amount of energy that gets quote unquote wasted by inactive appliances could power Bitcoin for whatever, right? So it's just kind of a dead horse. They keep beating it. And then the big counter argument to the whole Bitcoin uses too much energy and it's going to destroy the world and its carbon footprint is going to destroy humanity and all this crap is that the banking system uses way more energy than Bitcoin. Trucks, servers, branches, ATM, the amount of energy that the current financial system uses is like, you know, Bitcoin pales in comparison to that, right? Bitcoin can only dream of using that kind of energy, wasting that kind of, having that carbon footprint, right? So just don't buy into this stuff. I mean, like I said, the article was fairly balanced because it did present the counter argument, but the headline did not. The headline was just that same old trope, Bitcoin uses too much energy. They must be getting scared, right? But they haven't, they're not ready to outright attack Bitcoin like India and Nigeria, right? But they just keep poking at it. 1,000 cuts trying. All these negative articles, you know. Oh, Bitcoin's never going to see 40,000 again. You're all fools, you know, or Bitcoin uses too much energy, or hackers are stealing the Bitcoin, right? The hackers are going to steal all your Bitcoin, right? It's like, don't people rob banks too, right? Don't banks go bankrupt sometimes? The SNL scam back in the 90s, how many people lost their life savings over that, right? How many people get like scam phone calls, you know, from the IRS, and they get scammed out of their bank account because they prey on the elderly, all right? So people are going to steal your stuff. Doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin or dollars or bank accounts or gold or whatever. It's as old as the hills, right? So don't begrudge Bitcoin because occasionally hackers steal it. And this isn't even Bitcoin. This is hacking smart contracts, right? And the cryptography is about to die. I mean, all these negative articles that try to make us fear using Bitcoin, right? The normal guy. The guy that works hard every week and, you know, puts his money in the bank and has a bunch of credit cards and whatever. And, you know, he's reading articles and pops up, ooh, Bitcoin got hacked. He's like, oh, no, I'm never going to buy Bitcoin now. You know, these articles are just there to scare people. Okay, let's move on. I wonder if that Bitcoin came in yet. Oh, there it is. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so we got the Bitcoin from the CryptEthereum account, right? We withdrew it. I thought I was withdrawing it all, but I didn't get it all. There was like 20 bucks worth. I'm not going to sweat it, right? But there, we moved Bitcoin from one place to another. And what was the key there? The Bitcoin address. All right. Let's do some Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum. Now, with Ethereum, I'm going to do receive. I'm not worried about connecting the device to verify the receiving address because I've seen this address many times. I know it's the right Ethereum address. Let's copy it into our clipboard. Let's do Coinbase. I haven't answered too many questions tonight. I didn't see too many questions. Oh, yeah, Grey Ghost, you sent me $2 worth of Bitcoin. I saw it. It didn't And I'm still going to reply to your email because I appreciate that you did that. It's an old cryptocurrency wallet that I need to update my donation addresses. But let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, the account was Trezor Affiliate, which is associated with an older Nano X that I'm not using anymore. I still have it. I can still access it. So you didn't waste it. I can still get this. He sent me $2 worth of Bitcoin. A few days back, right? I got the original 2, and then I got the additional 2 that you sent. And he was pointing out that the fees were fairly high in the email that he sent me. And they are. It's not really efficient to send small amounts of Bitcoin, really. Sometimes it'll tell you, like when you go to send it, it'll say, your fee is more than 10% of this amount, right? And I've had that question has come up before. Someone says, if I have a bunch of I think someone said, I know somebody that's got $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Is it better to send it in one transaction or many, right? I think the way the whales do it is, let's say a whale wants to send 5,000 Bitcoin from one place to another. And they'll usually report them on these because the blockchain is transparent. They'll usually say, okay, somebody transferred 5,000 Bitcoin from one wallet to a new wallet or whatever. And then if you read the whole story down towards the end, they'll say they sent 1 Bitcoin first to test, right? So the way the whales do it is, and just like I mentioned to you, if you're going to move Bitcoin from one place to another, they usually want to do it in as big a transaction as you can, right? To make paying the fee affordable, or whatever the word you want to use for it, right? You're going to end up paying more fees if you break it up into like 50 transactions, right? But they usually will send the test one to make sure that it goes through properly before they move that much Bitcoin, right? It's just common sense, right? You want to make sure that it's gonna be successful. And I think I did that earlier doing something else. I can't remember what I was doing, but I did the same thing. I moved something, and I said, well, let me send like $20 first, just to make sure. And then it went through, and I was like, okay, now I'll send the rest. That's usually the way you do it, right? But yes, thank you. $2 here, $2 there. Can't complain. It did go through, and thank you. And yes, you probably spent more in fees than you really should have to send me that. I'm not saying you should have sent me $100. I'm just saying, it wasn't quite as efficient when you try to send small amounts of Bitcoin. Now you can, and I think I could show you this one real quick too, since we're talking about fees. We could try to send it. Let's go ahead and open the Coinbase account briefly here. Whoops. What are we doing here? Okay. Yeah. We'll buy some Ethereum, but I'll go ahead and show you this mock transaction first. CrypTERIUM just sent me a confirmation about my transfer, which is good. Usually you'll see it in the wallet for a lot of exchanges before you actually get your confirmation, depending on the wallet. All right, so let's say that, let's go to portfolio. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's say that I want to send some Bitcoin from my wallet to Coinbase, right? So on the Coinbase end, I'm going to say receive, because I want to receive something into my Coinbase account. So let's hit the 2 squares here to copy the Bitcoin address into my clipboard. This is a unique Bitcoin address for my Coinbase Bitcoin wallet, or they call it portfolio, but it's basically a wallet, right? If you have a Coinbase account, it's going to be a different Bitcoin address, obviously, right? But this is my Bitcoin address for my Coinbase Bitcoin wallet, right? Now, let's say that we decide, okay, I just moved it from CryptoDad's, but now I want to move it over to Coinbase. Whatever. Or let's hit send. Now, in this case, I do need to connect the hardware device. And the reason why is because I'm sending crypto out. Is this the right one? So I'm going to show you this. I haven't done Kraken yet, have I? We'll get there. Let me get this out of the way. We already covered this anyway. Let's open this guy up. Let's get him in here. All right, I'm going to enter my PIN. I use the 8-digit PIN. So it's up to you how long you can. It has to be at least 4, but I use the full 8. All right, so turn this back on. All right. So let's say I want to send Bitcoin to that Coinbase address. All right, we'll hit continue here. Now here is where I think, what is it? Oh, here, right here, down here. So let's say I want to send the max to the Coinbase address. Here is where I can adjust it. I can do high, where the fee is higher. I can do standard, which is usually what the default, and it usually is fine. Now, I would not recommend trying to save money by lowering your fee. It will work, but it will take much longer for the transaction to be mined on the Bitcoin blockchain because miners prioritize higher transaction fees. It's just common sense, right? If you're running a miner, then you would just automatically set your miner to mine the highest transaction fees before the lower ones, right? Why would you want to mine a bunch of lower fee transactions, right? You want to make as much money as you can. It will eventually get mined, but it could take it a while, right? So my advice is not to fool around with this. You just leave it at standard and everything will be fine. But people worry about fees, okay? It's $130 worth of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be paying, it'll tell me on the next, $4.21. Pretty steep, right? The idea with Bitcoin is that the transaction or network fees were going to be negligible. But Bitcoin has grown quite a bit, and, you know, it needs to be scaled a little bit, and it will. There's new things coming out, but it is maybe higher than what it was back in the day, right? I remember back in 2016, you're playing around with Bitcoin. The fees were like less than a penny in many cases, or, you know. And then you could also go to custom and actually just type in whatever. I don't know if you could do 0 or not. Fees, okay, it's gonna ask you to do some fees. Now there are other wallets where you can actually send Bitcoin with no fees, but that could end up being stuck on the blockchain indefinitely, right? I know you can't even do that anymore. But can I do 1? Yeah, it'll let me do 1, right? But I would not recommend that, right? All right, so that's that. I don't even need to connect the ledger because I'm not actually going to send this. But if I got through it, well, let me just show you. I'll just go through it. All right, so we'll hit continue. Right, we'll hit continue and then continue, and then it's going to say, okay, open your Bitcoin app, hit both buttons. Then it's going to say, okay, it's going to give me a breakdown of the transaction. There's my output, right? There's the address I'm sending to, and then I'm not going to accept that. But that's what you do. You hit accept, and then it'll ask you to accept the fee. But there's no way I'm sending this with that low fee because I'm basically just throwing it out there on the blockchain indefinitely, right? Don't want to. Yes, there are fees. It's built in. It's the way Bitcoin was designed. They were designed to be negligible. They're not so much anymore. All right. But right. Bitcoin keeps rising in value. It's deflationary. So. All right, it's not perfect. Now, someone asked me to sign into Kraken or show how to fund a Kraken. Let's do that. I'd forgotten about that. I almost forgot about that. Let's go over to my Kraken. I'm going to sign in. My username and password are saved in my password manager. Now I got to go touch that thing. All right. I touched that little hardware thing and logged me in. All right, so I want to fund this account with some, he said US dollar coin, right? So we'll go over to funding, right? And I want US dollar coin. So just search for it here. Right, there it is. I want to deposit some US dollar coin. So we'll hit deposit. By depositing, I acknowledge that Kraken is not responsible for any coins sent to the wrong address. I get it, right? Yes. I've done this before. So they've already given me an address. You can generate a new one every time if you want to. It's not that necessary. But you can. You can have multiple receiving addresses. But I'll just use the one that's already there. I'll hit select. Let's go back over to our Ledger wallet. I'm not sure where your US dollar coin was originally. Let's see who said that. Oh, I have struggled to get BTC from the vault. Oh, wait, that's different. Okay.
We're looking for a blue floet.
Who was asking me about Kraken? Whoops. Oh, it's gone. It's way gone. I'm not sure where you were bringing your US dollar coin from. It could be from anywhere, actually. But we'll just do this Ethereum address, right? I've got some US dollar coin here, like 120 bucks worth. Let's go ahead and send 50 to that address. That's the first question they ask you. And it's going to say auto verification not available. Carefully verify the address. It usually says that when you're sending to an exchange. I don't know why. It does. It doesn't matter what exchange it is. It does it to Binance. It does it to Binance US. I don't know if it does it with Coinbase, but it's doing it with Kraken, right? So just double check, right? There it is. OX478A137, blah, 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 748 at the end, right? It looks good to me, right? I usually look at the beginning and the end, right? But you can go through it character by character if you want to. Just eyeball it, right? Here we go. What did we say? We're going to do 50, right? Here's our gas price here. I can move this way down if I want to and like try to get off as cheap as possible, but it might take it a few days or a week to get there, right? You're much better off just leaving it at the default. And looky here, $13 I got to pay to move this from my wallet to Kraken, right? I just might not do this, right? It's kind of a waste. So I won't. I don't know if this is ever going to get fixed, but right now is kind of a bad time to be using the Ethereum network, which kind of sucks. Good time to own Ethereum, but for transfers, sometimes you can do this, like take it down a notch or two, not all the way down, but maybe a little bit, like maybe one notch, or even 2 if you're feeling brave, if you're not too worried about when it's going to get there. But if you're ready to make the trade and you want to fund the account, then you probably want to just leave it here, right? And you're going to have to be willing to spend the Ethereum. So I'm assuming, let's say you want to send $5,000 to fund your account, and it's going to cost you 30 or 40 Ethereum, $30 worth of Ethereum, right? And you're willing to do that because you're about to make a killer trade, right? So you got to keep everything in perspective. I'm not going to do it as a demo and spend $13 in Ethereum just to show you how it works, right? But, we'll hit continue. We'll hit continue one more time. Then this guy's going to ask me for, it's going to ask me to connect the device, which it hasn't done yet. Now it's saying open the Ethereum app, right? So we'll open the Ethereum app. All right, and then I'll just verify. This is called signing the transaction. The private keys of the wallet are on the device. So nothing can move out of the wallet unless it is connected to the device and you authorize the transaction on your device, right? So we use the button to scroll through everything. When you get to accept and send, you hit both buttons. I will reject. I'm not going to do it. And I didn't lose anything by doing that, right? There are cases where you try to make a trade on like Uniswap and the trade fails, you lose your transaction fee. You don't lose your transaction fee when you reject a transaction going out, right? I just simply decided not to send it. But after that, it would appear in my balance here on Kraken. And then I would make the appropriate trade, right? You can't always trade certain coins directly for US dollar coin, right? Let's take a look at, say, Kaba, right? I think you have to go over here. Trade. Yes. So, for example, what's Kaba? Whoops. Oh, here. Say Kava. All right. Notice that Kava can only be traded for US dollar. So if you've got US dollar stablecoin in there, you're going to have to trade for US dollar first, right? US dollar coin for US dollar, right? So you're going to have to make that trade first, right? So you had 100 US dollar coin, and then you're going to trade it for US dollar. I usually do market, so it goes through right away. So you could trade your 100 US dollar for US dollar, and then you could go over and buy your Kava, right? If that's what you were after, right? Then you could go to trade your Kava, and you would trade US dollar, right? Oh. Okay, I'm buying 100 Kava for the amount of US dollar that I have in my account, right? I would need $340 to buy that Kava, all right? So that's how it works. So you can fund your account with stable coins. It's easy. The only problem was most stable coins are on the Binance network. I'm sorry. Most stable coins are on the Ethereum network, so the fees are high, all right? Now, I'd like to mention, I talked about Binance Smart Chain last week. Let's close this guy here. I want to show you this tweet by CZ. There's a saying in Chinese, stay quiet, make a fortune. Ha 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 ha. Binance coin kind of mooned over the last couple of days, right? Pretty interesting. This is the underlying cryptocurrency that powers the Binance network. It's not only is it a cryptocurrency exchange, it is also has its own blockchain. It has two. It has the Binance blockchain, and then it also has the Binance Smart Chain. And we've been doing some Binance Smart Chain stuff. I was showing you guys Pancake Swap last week. And I just want to show you something. All right, look at the price of down here in the corner. Can you see that? $3.16. That's the current price of Pancake or Cake, right? I want to show you last week. Oh, what did I do with it? Ah. All right, we're just going to have to go back here. Find it again. That's okay. I can do it. Okay. Okay, it was right here. We're going to have to go through an ad. It
For
always
me.
does. Out of focus. There we go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this feels amazing. Oh.
Sorry about that, guys. So we have successful... Okay, so I was showing you Binance Smart Chain last week. You can't really see it very well. The price of cake last week on the Saturday night live stream was $1.64. Right? And then I went a little further here and I showed you Bunny. The price of Bunny last week during my live stream was $5.45. All right. So Binance, these run on the Binance Smart Chain. They are not Binance. They are companies that are running on the Binance Smart Chain. Pancake Swap. The price of cake is $3.16. The price of Bunny is $11.88 this week, right? And I'm not trying to tell you you should have bought cake last week, right? Or you should have bought more cake last week, or you should have bought Bunny last week. Although I'll have to admit, I was looking at the Bunny that I have and wishing I had more, right? Man, I should have bought more. But then I told myself that's a quality problem. Don't freak out about that. Don't ever beat yourself up for something you didn't do in the past, right? There's no point. It's not going to do anything. All right? I'm not telling you you should have bought cake and you should have bought Bunny. What I'm telling you is that we just talked about how expensive it is to move Ethereum. Just imagine how expensive it is to trade Ethereum on Uniswap. $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $80, $90 worth of Ethereum for the trading fees, for the gas fees, for the swaps that you're doing. Right? That's ridiculous. Binance Smart Chain, cheaper, faster. I'm just saying you should be checking out the Binance Smart Chain. Not only are things popping over here with the amount of traffic that they're getting. Mind you, most of the traffic that the Binance Smart Chain and the Bunny and the Pancake Swap are getting are Asia. I have to say this. I think so. I don't think people in the U.S. have quite caught on yet. They're just wrapping their heads around what Bitcoin is. They're not trading over here. All right. But I did want to, I wanted to help somebody because they're asking me, you showed me how to do a liquidity pool. But now I can't get it out, stuck in there. All right, so I'm going to show you, let's buy some cake. I can find it here. Cake. Okay, let's do that. All right, there's 0 cake in here right now. Because it's being staked. And I'm not going to unstake it right at the second, right? There's cake over here in Bunny. I've got it staked. All right. So, but I'm not going to withdraw it, right? Because, I could if I want to. I won't. Oh, should I not? So withdraw some of it. Oh, I have to withdraw it all. Okay. All right. Forget that. Let's just buy a little bit. Let's spend 1 BNB for some cake, right? Just to show you how this works. All right. So first we'll do our swap and buy our cake, so that we'll have some cake and some BNB. All right?
Oh, no, just no. All right.
It just takes it a minute.
It's nothing.
Did it go through? Okay, there it goes. All right, so now I have 1 cake. Now it should update here too. It should say that there's one cake.
You know, it's for every individual.
Okay, yeah, one BNB or 21 cake. All right, so I have 21 cake now. All right, there we go. It updated. Now I want to put this in a liquidity pool, right? Now we talked about liquidity pools. It's a way to stake your coins, lend your coins to the liquidity pool for traders, and you get trading fees. You get a slice of the trading fees by doing this. Not without its risks, right? Because if one or two of the coins goes belly up or way to the moon, then it would have been better to not been in the liquidity pool. But all things being equal, if it stays in the liquidity pool, it's earning trading fees, right? So if the price stays relatively stable, you're going to make trading fees, right? All right, so let's max out the cake. And you can see that's like 1 BNB. It's fine. I might lose a little on all this, but so now I'm going to receive 4 pool tokens. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. Now I did this before, but the reason I'm doing it tonight is I'm going to show you how to unwind all this, because apparently someone that sent me an email was having trouble with this. So I want to show you how to unwind it. So we'll just wait a minute for that to go through, and it does. Notice how quickly it goes through, and with cheap fees, they're like 4 to 8 cents each, these transaction fees. All right, and then it should show there. Where is it? Somebody's. It'll show up in a sec. All right, there. Now it shows that I have LP liquidity pool tokens. Now I showed you, you can also, not only can you earn trading fees on those, but you can go over to the farms and actually stake your liquidity pool tokens. All right, so we'll hit stake. This is the Cake BNB liquidity pool token. I can max it out, hit confirm.
I'm gonna watch your stream. If you kill it, I'm killing you.
And there we go. Now I bought some cake. I decided to put my cake, an equal amount of cake in BNB in a liquidity pool. Then I decided to go take those liquidity pool tokens and stake those and earn even more money while it's sitting around. Right? But the question was, how do I get it out? Right? So I think what he was doing was he was going over here to trade, and he was looking in liquidity and he couldn't find it. He's like, what happened to my liquidity pool tokens? Well, you're farming them, right? You've staked them, right? Also, if you look in exchange, if you go to cake, cake is 0. I have 0 cake because it's not cake anymore. It's been deposited in a liquidity pool contract. So it's not showing up as a balance in my wallet anymore. It's showing up as 0. And then because I'm staking the liquidity pool tokens, they're not showing up in liquidity either, right? It says that I have an empty liquidity pool balance, right? So let's go over to farms. Here they are over here. I'm staking them, right? But I want to unstake them. I've got 4.15. Let's hit minus. And I want to unstake my liquidity pool tokens. I'm currently staking 4.15. Let's just unstake all of them. We'll hit confirm. We'll go back over here. We'll hit, we'll sign it with the wallet that we want to unstake the liquidity pool token. That frees it up, right? It's no longer being staked. It's no longer earning money, but now I have access to it. Let's go back over here to the trading interface. Let's just hit liquidity. Now there's liquidity, right? Because I just unstaked it. We're going to unwind all this. Now that I have access to the liquidity, I want to remove it, right? So I'm going to hit remove. We're just walking all this back. We're unwinding it. I can hit max here. I want to unstake both of these coins, right? Right? First I have to approve this. Maybe maybe that's where you're hitting your snag. The remove is dim. First you have to approve it, sign it. Right? Now you can remove it. I always forget that step. But when it's dim, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to authorize it. Hit remove. Pardon me. Confirm. And we got to sign it again. We're going to pay a fee, right? Small fee. It's actually a little more now since BNB costs more. Maybe it's closer to 20 cents. Maybe 30 cents. I don't know. Now the liquidity has been removed. We can go back to the exchange. There we go. I'm back to 19 here. And I'm back to, where's cake? All right. Oops. Oh, it's still updated. Give it a second. We're back to, should be, yeah, 21K, right? So we got it all up, back out again. So that's how you unwind it, right? You can go through all those steps to stake the coins, and then to unwind them, you just kind of walk it backwards to get access to your coins again. Let's see where we are here. It's been about 2 hours. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Thoughts on eGold? Yeah, I should have bought more. Should have bought more. I have a video on Elrond Gold that is not too old. Let's see here. I show you how to, is this it? Yeah. Purchase and stake Elrond. Right? I don't really have time to go into the whole video right now, but I will say this, that I did this video and I staked the Elrond, and then I wanted to unstake it and was having some issues. And my problem was that when I staked my Elrond, I staked all of it. And I didn't leave any in the wallet to pay fees. And when you go to unstake your Elrond in using the Elrond wallet, it requires you to pay a fee in order to unstake it. So the remedy to that was I had to buy a little more Elrond, or I had some Elrond somewhere else. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, either you bought some more or you had some more somewhere else. I moved some Elrond into that wallet to pay that fee. And it was like just a fraction of an Elrond or whatever it was. So just keep that in mind. But Elrond's doing good, right? Those are my thoughts. More rugged than diamond. Okay, let me go down here. I always get a lot of people piling in at the end, asking me questions. Yeah, so lowercase. You're right. Lowercase. ETH fees are high. You're very high. So my suggestion, and also there's a lot of like other tricks you can do with the Binance Smart Chain, in that I can buy some Ethereum here. I can buy ETH over here, but it's not Ethereum network ETH, right? But it does mirror the price of Ethereum. So if I wanted to buy some Ethereum with low fees, I can buy, like, it's pegged to the price of Ethereum. It's like Binance Chain pegged Ethereum. You can also, you can also do that with like other stuff, like I don't see it on here. You can maybe add it. There are other tokens that mirror tokens on different networks. And then the bridge can be used to move them between the chains. The bridge isn't going to like me because I'm in the US, but you can use, see, it doesn't like me. But you can like transfer Tether let's say you bought a bunch of Tether on this network, on the Binance Chain Network, and you decide to connect your wallet. Okay, it's not going to let me do it because I'm in the US. But so I could do Binance Chain Network, connect my wallet, and then transfer that Tether to the Ethereum network. Although I think what happens when you do that is that you're going to end up paying Ethereum fees through Binance, because this thing uses Binance, right? So I'd say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to send 140 Tether from here, from my Binance Chain Network over to the Ethereum network. And it would end up in my Ethereum wallet, but there would be some fees out of it. And I think at some point during that journey, it would incur some fees on the Ethereum network. I don't know if it's cheaper or not.
Okay.
But if I were to simply buy Ethereum pegged, a Binance Chain pegged Ethereum, I could sell it here if it made a profit, and only be paying fees in BNB, which are much lower on the Binance Chain Network. So I could invest in Ethereum without having to purchase it on the Ethereum network, because the price of Binance Chain pegged Ethereum follows Ethereum. And it's a little complicated. And then there are like coins. Like if you go to the IFO section here, they sponsor new coins that are coming onto Binance Chain. And then also you can, there's another website where you can check out the hottest coins or platforms on the Binance Smart Chain. I've showed you this one many times before. They're not paying me anything. I'm just saying, like, if you want to trade tokens in a decentralized exchange, or stake, or farm, or do all that cool stuff that everybody's doing on the Ethereum network, you can do it much cheaper and much faster on the Binance Smart Chain. You just have to be a little savvier. Pretty soon the Binance Smart Chain will probably get bogged down too. Who knows? Maybe they designed it better than Ethereum. Who knows? But a lot of information there for you guys to chew on, right? If you want to get involved in cryptocurrency, you need to be comfortable with moving it from one place to another, right? If you want to buy cryptocurrency and leave it on an exchange, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're better off, you'll understand things a little better if you learn how to move your crypto from one place to another. Move it off the... I never got around to actually buying any Ethereum on Coinbase, did I? Whatever. Are we still in Coinbase? Did it log me out? Yeah, it logged me out. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do that. That'll be the last thing I do. The key here is moving from one thing to another, right? So let's hit buy. Let's hit, we're going to buy Ethereum, right? Let's buy 50 Ethereum. And I'm going to use the debit card option so that I can withdraw it right away. Let's hit preview. Let's hit buy now. I paid a pretty hefty fee for that, but I'm just trying to show you the mechanics, right? There are cheaper places to buy Ethereum. There's Coinbase Pro, which has lower fees, right? But now we would like to now we want to send it to our own wallet. So how do I do that? I go over here. I'll go to the Ethereum wallet in my accounts, right? The Ethereum wallet. Let's do a receive. Let's hit continue. Don't have device because I don't need to double check this address. I've seen it a million times. I'm just going to hit that. Let's go back over here. Let's paste in the address. And I've had people telling me they can't do this. They're like, it never goes over or whatever. And I'm not, I feel for you guys. I mean, I've had people 82 years old, telling me, I followed your video step by step, but when it came over here, it wouldn't take it. And I'm not quite sure what they did wrong, but if you are not comfortable with cutting and pasting information, then you might want to have someone help you with your crypto. I'm not sure that, I can help you if you don't understand how to cut and paste. It's not rocket science, right? But I don't know what it is people are trying to do or failing or getting half of it or what they're doing. But there's two little things here that you can click that copies the entire address into your clipboard. And when you click over here in this empty field and get that little blinking eye bar, you should be able to do a paste. But I've had lots of questions on that. They're telling me they try to paste it into Coinbase and it doesn't work. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, let's send it all. Let's hit continue. It's not 50 anymore. Paid some fees. Going to pay a little more fees too. Not a lot. Well, how much is that? Let's go to CoinGecko. Whoops. How much is that? All right, it's $4. All right, $4. Okay, $4. Got to pay to play. All right, let's put in our two-factor. All right, we'll hit confirm there, and off it goes. Right. So the key there was the address, the Ethereum address. An Ethereum address could be an address of a wallet. It could be a desktop-based address. It could be a phone-based wallet address. They're all the same. They all have the same format. They all look like this. They have a 0x at the beginning and a bunch of numbers and letters afterwards. So I'm sending it to a hardware wallet, hardware-based wallet. You could send it to a desktop-based wallet, like Atomic Wallet or Exodus Wallet. They all work the same, right? It's an Ethereum address. It's an industry standard. So every wallet has a way to receive and send, right? So yes, you can send it. A lot of people ask me that question. Can I send it from one wallet to another? Yes. That was how the cryptocurrency was designed. It was designed to be able to send it from one wallet to another. So yes, you can move it from your Keep Key to your Trezor. You can move it from your Trezor to your Ledger. You can move it from your Ledger to Coinbase. You can move it from Coinbase back to your Ledger. And if you keep doing that, you'll end up with zero because you're going to be paying fees along the way. Right? So, okay, Coinbase just alerted me that that came through. I should see it here. There it goes. All right. So we sent it, and it got received on my end. Right. Now it says 43. I don't know that we lost that much when we went through. 0.02747, 0.0274. Yeah, I think it all came through. 0.027247. It's the same that got sent. It said it was 43.69. This says it's 43.37. It could be the fluctuation of the price of Ethereum, or it could just be they're querying different servers to get the current price. But yes, indeed, I lost like $7 on that deal in fees. But the first one was the merchant fee from Coinbase, which had nothing to do with Ethereum, right? It was just Coinbase's fee, right? So if I try to buy 50, they're going to charge me $1.99 just to buy it, right? That has nothing to do with blockchain or anything else. That's just Coinbase charging me a premium to facilitate the transaction, right? So that was the first hit. The second hit was the fees to transfer. So yes, you are going to have to deal with that. All right. But once you get savvy and once you get it in your own wallet and you learn how to like move it over to these other platforms with lower fees, then you can trade your heart's desire much cheaper. You know, these beginner platforms charge a premium. That's just the way it goes, right? So learn how to move your crypto from one place to another and you will do well, my son. I would just went stake some opium on one and spent a hell of a ETH getting liquidity tokens and staking. Yes. Lower C's too. Yes. You saw me do liquidity here. I did the liquidity and then the farm and then pulled it back out. I pretty much had what I started with, right? Because the fees were pretty much negligible. Ethereum, I would have wasted like $80 showing you that. Not going to do it. Why does my Binance USA not list many coins listed on Universal Binance? The reason why is because there are certain regulatory requirements that Binance US has for coins that they have to go through a process to get them listed in the US to comply with US regulations. Binance proper lists a lot of coins, but they don't fall under US those coins would not be approved in the US. So that's why Binance created Binance US to have a subset of coins that are acceptable to be traded in the US. All right? It's because of US financial regulations. There's a difference between the two platforms. If you're not in the US, then by all means use Binance. It's much better, many more coins, you know, more advanced, everything else, but people in the US get blocked because Binance doesn't want to get into hot water with any US regulatory agencies. That's why. I know it's complicated. It's complicated. Okay. I've been at this for over 2 hours now, but I'm probably going to have to go out. VPN, yes, you can use VPN to get around some of these blocks. Question, do I strategy where I put 1,000 in Dogecoin and when it goes up to 1,100 sell 100 and keep the 1,000 to get more money? Is that a good strategy? When I put in 1,000, there's lots of ways that you can take profits on any investment, right? But we talked earlier, I said don't be afraid to take your profit and then give it up, right? You could sell all your Doge after you made your profit and then not worry about Doge if it continues to go up, right? Just be happy you made a profit. Or you could just sell enough Doge to get your original investment back, right? You could do that too. Or you could sell 50% of your Doge and still have some if it continues to go up. That's just a personal preference. I can't tell you what's good or bad, right? It's not really an investment forum. The fees are also despicable. Rex, you must try WannaSwap, because the fees are also despicable. WannaSwap. How long till crypto transfer times out due to fees being too low? Okay, if you you can review this video. I talked about like moving your fee slider down really low. I can't give you any hard and fast rules as to how much longer it'll take if you lower your fees, but let's just say it will most likely be below your comfort level, right? The money that you save by lowering your fees is going to cause you high stress waiting for that transfer. You're trying to make a trade, right? So you're trying to move some money from, some coins from one place to another. And while you're waiting for that transfer to go through, you're watching the price go down, right? So for your own peace of mind, eat the fees, right? That's a known. How long it's going to take when you lower those fees and save that $10 or whatever it is, that's an unknown. So you're trading $10 for a known transaction time, which is relatively fast, not, that's no guarantee either, but relatively quick, for an unknown, I have no idea when it's going to get there. It could be a day, it could be a year, I don't know. Don't trade the known for the unknown for a measly $10 fee, right? That's my thinking. Right? How do I find your live stream schedule? Every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we do something family-wise that prevents me from doing the live stream. Yesterday, we went and picked up our new dog that my wife bought, and the breeder was kind of far. So we went to do that. And so we spent the night, so we didn't have... It was a 3-hour drive. We didn't want to do a 6-hour, like there and back in one day. So we drove there the night before. We stayed in a hotel, and then we drove back today. So it was only 3 hour. And we had a good time. Stayed at the Super 8. For some reason, my son loves Super 8. I don't know why. It's like every time he sees one off the freeway, he's like, "Look, Dad, Super 8." I'm like, "Yeah." Because we stayed in a Super 8. He remembers. So we stayed in a Super 8 and he was happy. Do you know how to build an ergo miner? No. I don't mine much anymore. I did some mining videos a while back, but it's easier just to buy the coin than to, invest all the time and energy and money and technology in mining. It's not for the faint of heart. I do not know how to build an ergo miner. Sorry. Okay, guys, I'm going. I don't know about CoinMania, whether it's legit or not. I would suggest sticking with the big exchanges than going for the smaller ones, right? If you're not sure if it's legit or not, then only send a small amount first and do some trades and see how that works before you transfer your life savings. Just common sense stuff. All right. I will do the live stream next week, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again. If you subscribe to my channel, you should get an alert when I go live, if you're wondering when I'm going to do my live streams. I also will usually post them like the day before, sometimes earlier in the day, so that you can see when they're going to be. Like, just Google me, Google CryptoDad live stream, and they should show you there's one upcoming. Right. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Scott, you missed a lot.
Yay!
And Alex is happy